What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Pretty sure, as you guys could tell, I went ahead and started tackling the rear mount on the C bracket. I didn't bring the right amount of tools that I needed, so I was like, you know what, let me just try to get this out now. Once I get it out, I'll explain to you into further details what exactly was loosened and the order that I did it. But yeah, the rear mount already got all 3 bolts removed from the 3 mounts, from the rear mount. And I also loosened up the bracket from the engine and transmission. All right, so like I just said, the mount is all loose. Now I just have to remove it from the engine bay. So. All right, guys, so there it is. I got the rear T-bracket mount all disassembled and out of the car. And as you guys can tell, it's just pretty much done. This thing is finito. But what I did to get this out of the engine, I had to grab this jack and jack up the rear of the engine to lift it up in order for me to slide this mount out from under the T-bracket. So let me just explain what I did while I wasn't recording. So what I did, first thing that I did was I went ahead and loosened this bolt right here, which bolts the T-bracket. T-bracket goes over this. This bolt slides in between and holds this mount and the T-bracket together. So what I did was loosen this bolt, and once I had that loose, I went ahead and loosened up the T-bracket. So it was two bolts to the transmission and the 1 bolt to the engine. So once the T-bracket was all loosened up, the next step was to loosen the rest of the bolts to the rear mount. Now that I have the old mount out, you guys could see what I was saying. This shit was completely shot. Look at that, this bushing is done for. And I also noticed, I guess in the mix, this torque mount over here came loose. And I also realized that there's a bolt missing, and this bolt right here is actually loose as well. I guess this happened from all the back and forth, from the vibrations, or because I definitely tightened that shit all the way down and it still came loose. But yeah, there it is. Let me see if I can get this one in. Alright guys, so like I said earlier, all I had to do was just jack up the engine, slide the new motor mount right from underneath the T-bracket, and then once I had that in place, I went ahead and tightened up all 3 bolts. Once I tightened up 3 bolts, then I had to tighten up the other 3 bolts to the T-bracket. So now that everything is all tightened up, the last step is to lower the engine onto the new bushing. So let me show you guys really quick. So I'm not sure if you could see there. The hole is almost lining up, but if you guys could tell, the T-bracket is sitting a little higher than the actual hole for the motor mount. So what I'm gonna do now is see if I can place you guys down somewhere. So I'm gonna set you guys there, and hopefully you guys are able to see there, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower the engine. Alright, so the jack is pretty much all the way down. I'm not sure why it didn't lower even more, but I'm gonna try ahead and push it down, see what happens. Oh, there it is. It just popped into place right now. As you guys can see, the hole is lined up now. All I have to do is just grab the engine from over here, and I just pushed it forward so it could lean down towards the hole, and it actually lined up pretty good. Like butter. Yeah, I couldn't have gone any better. Bam! There it is. Fucking rear mount is fully installed. FYI, whenever you guys doing a job, make sure you do the hardest thing first. It'll save you, I guess, the headache. If not, you know, you do these two, and by the time you're fucking up to the last shit, the hard part, you're gonna be too exhausted. So you're gonna be like, you know what, fuck this, and it's just not worth it. So I'll say, do the hardest first, and then leave the best, well, the easiest for last. But yeah, there it is. Fucking rear mount is fully installed. Now I'm going to move on to the driver's side mount, but first I have to support this engine. We gotta grab this jack. And jack this baby up. Usually I would put like a piece of wood or some shit like that, but I don't think I have any lying around, so I'm just gonna support it like as is right there. Make sure this is nice and tight. Leave it as is. And start loosening up these bolts right here. I'm gonna slowly loosen, I'm gonna loosen this bolt first. Loosen that one. And slowly start lowering the engine onto the jack using these two nuts. And once that is fully loose and out of the way, gonna finish it off with this bolt right here and remove this old mount and replace it with this new Hasport polyurethane mount. So yeah, let me start by loosening this one up. Alright guys, so I ran into my first issue with installing this motor mount, the driver's side. So the studs that are currently on this car, towards the end, they start getting tapered, like tapered towards the bottom. And apparently these holes right here are a bit too small and the mount doesn't fully seat. There's like about like a quarter of an inch that of travel, that, well, a quarter of an inch of gap that is in between the bottom of this mount and the actual plate right here, this little plate. So I left my drill at home, so I could have drilled these out, you know, a bit wider so it could accommodate this, you know, tapered stud. But I'm actually going to install the old one back on, and I guess tomorrow I'll drill these out to the right measurements and get it installed then. But for now, like I just said, I'm gonna go ahead and install this old mount back on until I drill the holes out properly to the proper dimensions so I can install this mount. And hopefully I don't have the same issue with the passenger side, but fingers crossed. So let me go ahead and install this one back on and move on to the passenger side. Alright guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and got the old passenger motor mount removed and got the new Hasport one, and it's almost there. It's in, but I just have to tighten these nuts and bolts down to the transmission and the one bolt that goes through the actual frame of the car. So let me see if I can set you guys down somewhere and get you guys a nice shot. Alright, so I'm not sure if you could see there, but the hole right there is almost lined up. I just have to lower this jack right here. I have the actual jack under the car. I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but it's right there supporting the transmission up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to loosen up the jack and lower the whole transmission and engine down to see how we're looking. So let me show you guys really quick. That seems about right. Let me see if I can lower it just a bit more. Oh, that was a little bit too much. That seems perfect right there. So let me see if I can go ahead and slide this bolt in, and that should be it for the passenger side. I just have to figure out. I just have to drill out these holes, the holes for the driver's side, and that's pretty much it for the mounts. Now let's see. I gotta slide this actual mount forward because it's kind of offset here. So let me see if I could do that with this flathead. Alright, so I'm gonna need two hands. I'll set you guys down. See if I can get a shot at least. That should be it. Alright guys, so I didn't get to film it much, but I did wind up getting this bolt in. I just had to put the screwdriver here and use the screwdriver as leverage to push up on this side of the actual motor mount towards the driver's side. This side was already lined up. I just had to move the screwdriver over to get some leverage and push up on this side, so that way the hole lines up over on this end. And I did, and at the same time while I was doing that, I was pushing with one hand and I was using the this ratchet right here, electric ratchet, to tighten it, and sure enough it worked. So now that that's on, next step is to get this torque mount back on because I loosened it in order to get the old motor mount on. So sorry about that. Now I'm just gonna tighten it back up, throw the bolts on and tighten it back up. That's pretty much it for, I guess, today's installation. Just gotta do this, drill up the hole, like I said, for the driver's side motor mount, find that one bolt, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, as far as the Honda build challenge, yeah, just as for now, no. I'm gonna see if I find a shell, and I already have a particular motor. I already have a particular motor in mind. But for now, yeah, let me see if I find a shell, and as soon as I do, I'll see if I can take you guys along for the ride and pick it up. Besides this not fitting the right way, I was gonna say, I would say this installation went pretty smoothly. I didn't have too much of a hiccup besides this, like I just said. And yeah, I'm actually gonna lower the car now and see how it feels with these more solid mounts. So let's just get this shit out from under the car. That instantly feels way better now. There is no more clunking in the engine bay. This shit is so smooth. The vibrations is not even that bad. You know, since it was like solid bushings, they are polyurethane, so they're not, and they are 70A or D. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think the higher the letter. So if you have like a D, is like pretty stiff. A is somewhat soft. So I'm guessing I have 70A. So it's not, yes, it's you feel the vibrations a little bit more, but it's not, you know, it's not to the extent where you're like, you know, fucking your nuts are vibrating and shit. It's pretty bad. It's pretty good. And I could say that even the engagement for the clutch is way smoother. It's so smooth. Like before, I would get like chatter because the engine would like just like seesaw in the fucking engine bay and just, I guess, throw the whole clutch shit off. But yeah, it's way smoother now. The shit engages so good. It feels amazing. Yeah, so next step, I still have to install one more mount, which is the driver's side mount, and it's pretty much it for the mounts. Got that taken care of. Now Now that's out the way, so there's one less thing that I have to worry about when I'm going to be heading to the track. I don't have to worry about like one of the fucking bushings snapping on me like it did. Yeah, you guys can see this shit. This shit's fucking done. Look at that. Finito. Both sides. Dunzos. Who? Bushing? What bushing? Yeah, that shit's done. Even on the other side, it's cracked. But yeah. The mounts feel amazing. Shout out to Hasport for making such amazing mounts. Yeah, besides that one little issue, everything fit pretty good. There was no type of modification needed. And this shit feels amazing. Fucking clutch engages way faster. Well, not way faster, just way better. And yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to drive it on the road now. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna wrap it up today, and I'll see if I pick up tomorrow on drilling the holes out for the driver's side motor mount, and I'm also going to be getting the extra bolt for the torque mount. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. What's going on, guys? So it's the next day, and I spoke to the guys over at Hasport Motor Mounts, or Hasport Performance, and you know, I explained the situation with the tapered studs, and they basically explained that they've come up with a new design, which would entail me removing these studs and I have to use these two bolts. There's a third one in my pocket. Yeah, so there it is. It's 3 bolts, and so what I have to do is, what they were explaining to me was that these 2 studs are no longer required to install this new mount over here. So what they explained to me was I got to remove these studs, and in order for me to do that, I have to use the typical 2-nut. You back the stud out by loosening the bottom nut. And I asked them, was I gonna have to tap into this little bottom bracket piece? And they told me no, because it's already threaded in. So all I have to do is grab 2 nuts that fit onto these 2 studs, get them backed out, and use these 3 bolts right here that they've included in the mount kit. So I already have the car on jack stands. The motor is already supported by this jack right here. So next step is to loosen up these 2 nuts on the studs, this bolt right here, remove this side bolt right here as well, and I'm gonna get this removed and start removing these studs. I already made a stop at Home Depot. I grabbed the proper nuts to back these studs out, even though I could have probably used these 2 nuts right here. But yeah, I went to Home Depot, bought 2 nuts, and I'm gonna use those to back these studs up, and hopefully it comes out easy. There's it's not rusted in there or seized in there or anything like that. But yeah, with the 2 other mounts, I gotta say it's been a dramatic difference. The clutch engages so much better, so smooth. You don't hear the engine clunking back and forth inside of the engine bay. And yeah, overall it's much smoother, and I gotta say it's made a huge dramatic difference. So yeah, It's the good part. So let me go ahead and remove this mount over here and show you guys a time lapse of me removing this or removing the 2 studs. So let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see, I already got one of the studs out, which is right over here. Alright guys, so just to show you real quick what was done, in order to back any stud up, this is the 2 nut method, I guess you want to call it. So what you want to do is you would want to screw 2 nuts onto any stud that you would like to remove, and basically want to grip the bottom one so you can loosen it at the end and tighten up the top as much as you can, so that way they're like basically locked together. So what I did was I lined the 2 nuts up. Let's see if I can show you guys real quick. Alright, so yeah, what I did was I lined the 2 nuts up so that way I could slide this closed end ratcheting wrench down to the bottom nut, and with the top nut I'm going to tighten it with this socket and basically get them locked in. So it's like fully locked in there. It's hard to turn even. And then now that is all tight, next step is to switch your ratchet to the backing off side, so that way it locks. And well, actually, yeah, whatever. So now that the top nut is tightened up all the way down to the bottom nut while you was holding the bottom nut still, so that way it doesn't keep spinning down. Now what you want to do is loosen up the bottom nut while holding the top nut. So go ahead and start doing that. And as you guys can see, I think that loosened up the stud. Yep, there it is. She's out. So now I can start backing up this stud using the nuts. Bam. And there it is. That's how you back out a stud using 2 nuts. Next step is to install this mount and use these 3 bolts that were supplied in the kit. So now that we have the 2 studs removed, we're going to replace the 2 studs with these 2 bolts, and on the 3rd bolt we're going to use, instead of this bolt right here, we're going to replace it with one of the bolts that were supplied with the kit. So there it is. Let me go ahead and start pushing this down and see if we can get this mount installed. Whew, I'm sweating. Alright guys, so as you can see, the motor mount, driver side motor mount, is installed, and she's ready to go. So let's take her out for a drive and see how she handles. guys, so it's pretty much the next day. I couldn't get the last motor mount installed yesterday. Well, I couldn't install the 3 bolts due to the fact that I didn't have the proper tools. I was missing an 8 hex bit, so I couldn't get the last 3 bolts to the motor mount installed. So as you guys saw earlier when I was pulling the car out, the motor mount is fully installed, and now I'm just driving around. I would give the car all the beans, I'll let her eat, but unfortunately, as you guys can tell, it's raining out, so can't let her eat. The car feels way better, so I should be ready to head to the track very soon. And speaking of the track, I found another I guess you want to call it drag strip. I found another racetrack in New Jersey that goes by the name of Island Dragway, something like that, drag race or Island Dragway, and it's about like 20 minutes closer than ACO. So, and they actually have test and tunes on Saturdays during the morning. So what I'm gonna do is this Saturday or Friday night, I'm gonna prep the car, or try to get all the tools that I need. Get a spare axles. I'll probably get some distributor cap and rotor just in case. And Saturday morning, I'll be heading out to Island Dragway to see if we could put down a nice pass. Look at this guy. So pretty much the car is ready to go now. I fixed whatever it needed to be fixed. The motor mount got fixed. The fucking rotor cap and distributor, changed that. And now the car is pretty much ready to go to the track and put down some numbers. Also, I had a few questions. I had a few of you ask me, what is the goal for this car? Honestly, the game plan for this car is to make the craziest, not the craziest, oh yeah, the goal for this car is to make a crazy street car, high horsepower street car that's gonna fucking rip everyone's ass. So that is the goal. And as far as like horsepower, I'm aiming for 900 plus. If we could make 900 plus, that would be an ill street car. And that's pretty much the game plan for this car. It's to build the illest street car out there.
I get the feeling that you're admired, but
I'm above average.
I got so much beef, I can barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's. Oh, Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frightened when I up it, I'ma squeeze. On the G. Had a bachelor's degree, PhD was selling speed.
So yeah, once again, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you Saturday at the new track. Peace out.